I'm jacked.
I'm jacked to the test.
Looks as good as on paper. We're in the kill zone, pal. We're locked and loaded.
Hi there guys, welcome back into this European session, 5th of March, 45 days pre-halving. Another great start to the week for crypto. Today we're going to have a look at a couple of higher time frame charts and then drop into some order flow, open interest and funding with the TRDR console. So starting off today with a tiny bit of history, was looking for a image of Michael Saylor earlier. Obviously company's doing well, Bitcoin's doing well, he's well up on his investment at the minute, currently about 6 to 6.5 billion up. I think that's profit. I might be wrong, let me know in the comments if not. But yeah, looking for an image of Michael Saylor earlier to put on the YouTube core, you know, just rewind that back and have a look at it. And it's interesting because it's from March 2000 .com era, and it was highlighting the fact that MicroStrategy, you know, a lot of .com era companies were crashing at that time, the .com bubble era, March, April 2000, and it was just highlighting the fact that he had taken a $6 billion hit on his company. But what I found interesting was that he was absolutely, I was reading a couple of the articles and a bit from that paper, and he was absolutely unwavering in his longer term conviction. It was almost like he was nonchalant and didn't care, which was really interesting, because I can't, you know, I don't really remember this time too much really. I was still at university back here, not really watching tech stocks too much, wish I was, to be honest. But yeah, absolutely unwavering. Some of the interviews were saying he was just really like, oh yeah, 6 billion, yeah, don't care. And I just thought it was really interesting what kind of a turnaround we've got now. Obviously it's taken time, but yeah, really interesting. Let's have a look at MicroStrategy now on the weekly. Absolutely chadding, very similar to a higher time frame Bitcoin chart, to be honest. Correlation there quite tight, as we all know. But yeah, I think what you can take from that higher time frame conviction from Michael Saylor is that's where we all should be, really. That's kind of what I wanted to highlight. And we're going to have a look at the Bitcoin higher time frame chart before we do dive into some lower time frame order flow. It's where you need to be. Don't get paralyzed by these lower time frame moves that you're going to get at the minute, especially, you know, like we've said on the lives a couple of times. Don't get caught out, if you are trading derivatives, by these lower time frame flushes like you saw on the meme coins on Saturday. Obviously meme coins are doing really well, but you did get a lower time frame flush down on quite a lot of them, flush some open interest, flush some funding, and then continuation back up, obviously. But don't get too paralyzed by these lower time frame moves. Obviously when we're at these kind of levels, we'll drop to the Bitcoin chart in a second as well, but when you're at these kind of levels, really, yeah, you want to be looking for support at previous weekly, monthly levels, you know, 3-digit day levels. Okay, so yeah, that's where we need to be now. Anyone watching the video has obviously got conviction in the crypto and blockchain market anyway. We're all bullish longer term. Don't get you know, just as I said, don't get paralyzed by these lower time frame moves. MicroStrategy looking absolutely brilliant. Looks like it's, you know, heading to go and take, we're not at those .com era prices at the minute. I think, you know, rewind that back, I think it was over 3,000. Hitting its first weekly order block in a couple of years, very similar to how Bitcoin looks as well. Okay, so Bitcoin weekly chart obviously got an order block up here from the all-time high. It wouldn't surprise me if we do tackle that soon, and honestly I think we can probably even extend higher. But yeah, as I say, if you're looking at any downside at the minute, like I always look for in a trending market, if we get some kind of reversal for a few days, even a week, where could we possibly go? You want to be pulling these higher time frame charts now, really, to be honest. You know, look, I've got H&A candles on here obviously, but just have a look at some previous levels that have had some volume, that have had some transaction. Not much going up here, to be honest, but that's kind of where you need to be, you know. And you could drop all the way back into these 50Ks, and Bitcoin's still going to look really good. Daily chart just battling a little bit of an old order block there as well, but similar on the daily chart as well. All right, you know, you can really have some violent pullbacks here now, and you're still going to look okay on the Bitcoin chart. All right, something to be said. We're going to go and have a look at the order flow in a second. We are seeing some spot supply. I'm just wondering, really, is it people that have held from back here? Is it your mums and pops and your grandmas and grandpas that bought round here at the all-time highs, and they've just held it because they didn't need to sell and capitulate down here, and now they're excited because they're getting the money back and they just think, fuck this, I want out the market? It kind of feels like that a little bit, to be honest. So once we clear that supply up here that we will go and have a look at, I'm fully expecting some continuation, to be honest. I'm not seeing mega FOMO into the market at the minute. I've certainly had no texts off mates or family members asking me, like they were around this point, okay, in November 21, and back there in April 21, I was getting texts daily from family member mates. Where do I go? Is Coinbase the one to use? Do we use Binance? How do I buy crypto? And that was all up here. I've actually, you know, here we are again, and I've not had that yet, I do have to say. Another thing to highlight, okay, Google Trends, one to keep an eye on. Search algos, really low, really low. So it's an interesting one, I do believe, to be here again and not have all that much froth. Open interest, all-time highs at the minute. It obviously is. There's, you know, a lot of transactions changing hands here, a lot of contracts changing hands. Funding's mega high. That can stay high for a while, you know. For a while, I'd never say funding is a reason to suddenly go short. You know, unless you are just putting like one of those 1x shorts on over a weekend or something like that, you know. But yeah, with that being said, you know, you could have a full week of downside here, have a look at some levels, and then still get continuation up, and it look really good. I think, you know, and especially when you look at where we were in these previous moves up, it looks really good. No Sam Bankman to manipulate the market as such now. I'm sure it still goes on to a certain extent, but yeah, all looking pretty good, to be honest. So let's dive into some lower time frame order flow. All right, on the TRDR console, just on the multiverse chart at the minute, because I just want to highlight the supply we are seeing up here. You know, is it the older generation up here who bought and are now in a little bit of profit, and are just saying, fuck this, I want out of the market, I don't care if people are saying it's going to continue up? Okay, so yes, no real big demand from the central exchanges to speak of at the minute. We had a nice little grind up yesterday, but nothing too much really. I think the ETF order flows were pretty good on volume again yesterday, but yeah, as we can see, Binance spot here, okay, you've got some levels covering that all-time high. These not particularly going to hold if the market just absolutely wants to bid this through, but it's a similar story on Coinbase Pro, it's a similar story on Bitfinex, and yeah, Binance Perps are one of the biggest derivatives exchanges. Little bit of selling up here. I think we did get a BTC Diamond as well around here at that 66.8 level. We rose a couple more percent yesterday, and then we're just coming down a little bit. They've got some levels down here in the 62 area. So, you know, if you get a little bit of downside here, just prepare for it. Could be quite healthy for the altcoins as well to come down a little bit and reset some of that funding. All right. So as we go to the OBC, again, I'm not going to concentrate too much on this today because it's absolutely full of order blocks lower. You know, if we really start to rip down, which I can't foresee at the minute, then yes, we'll have a look at what's going on. But at the minute, just on a 1 hour, with that slightly slower look back, and yes, we have got bearish divs. Retail are really starting to come in now with that high open interest and high funding. you know, if you do get any downside, maybe just come and take these lower weekend positions out. But any downside, I would prepare for it, get some levels in mind, and go from there, because really, if you flush the open interest on any move down here as this volume's starting to reset, if you get some bid down here, it's just going to start to look really, really good. So let's just go and have a quick look. As we are here, we looked at the multiverse chart. I just want to go and have a look in a little bit more detail. So yeah, you can see the supply here and all these little dots where our group spot selling. So you've got selling going on here, and then a couple of BTC diamonds there. No invalidation of the BTC diamond yet. You've still got a 2.5% wicks here, so that's okay. You can see the depth is not too good here from these central exchanges. Alright, lower levels, nothing absolutely solid from Binance there. Let's have a look at Coinbase Pro. Yeah, they're defending that zone. Yeah, I mean, really, you just want to, if we're going to come down here, it's going to be healthy, to be honest. It's just going to be healthy. Don't be afraid of it, and then we'll see what bid we do get in. Alright, what I do want to do is just go to that daily ratio chart that I've got, have a little zoom out. Let's just go to the daily. Okay, so this is where we are, and we can just see our open interest there. Alright, so open interest at all-time highs, funding mega high. So you're in this kind of risky area. It's not going to surprise me to go and take out this all-time high before any decent pullback. But then really, you know, get those weekly and daily charts open, get some of those levels marked out, and just have a look at areas of interest if you are taking profit round here where you would want to possibly get in. Alright, if we do come down again, those areas of interest, look for the bid depth from the central exchanges at the minute. Not that much. It really is those US flows are really pushing us up here. There's been some quite dynamic bidding from the perps guys, but spot markets have not really had big depth on the books since that kind of 50k level. They had a good push there, and then again the 38k level was really the key there when we hit that $1 billion bit on the order books. Alright guys, so we will be live in the US session later on. Let's hope for a little bit more volatility. Do the altcoins get some continuation? As we can see just from the watch list here, really mixed bag today. Some coins loving it, absolutely up only.com, and some coins just having a little bit of a pullback. So some real lower time frame rotations going on. We'll have a deeper dive into some altcoins later on in the live session. We'll see you there. Cheers guys.
Fugazi, Fugazi, it's a Wazi, it's a Woozy, it's a fairy dust.